LSU versus Ole Miss is, I think, the sleeper game of this Saturday. It is a 6 o'clock Eastern time kick. Yeah, so 5 o'clock local time there in Oxford. I can go ahead and tell you the model is going haywire on this one. So it's the first time these teams have met in a top 20 matchup since 2003. That's Eli Manning in Oxford, Mississippi. The last 7 games, LSU has averaged 42.3 points per game. What does that all mean? Absolutely nothing. I just wanted to throw it out there. How does Ole Miss avoid a repeat of last year? If you'll think back to last year in this game, Jaden Daniels went off. He went off. Nearly 400 yards through the air, 5 touchdown passes. LSU pulled away. They won 45-20. My advice, and I'm going to say it slow so everyone hears it, score a bunch of points. Just score more if you're Ole Miss. They didn't score last week. They didn't score enough in this game last year. Score. And it's got to be with Jackson Dart. And if you go back and watch LSU last week, they had trouble putting Arkansas away. I'll tell you what gave them trouble. KJ Jefferson, with his legs, made a bunch happen. That doesn't always just mean on the ground either. It means extending plays and then throwing the ball over the top. That stuff messed with LSU last week. Jackson Dart can do the same thing. He did not do it against Bama effectively enough last week. LSU's not as good defensively as Alabama. So maybe it happens this Saturday. LSU's going to be able to score. Like, you cannot be counting on getting into the fourth quarter and it being a rock fight in a sand pit. That's not happening. So I'm assuming I'm going to need 31 plus to win it. That's what I assume against LSU. And if I don't, I don't. That's great. I got to have Jackson Dart be the most important player in this game. I got to have my wide receivers healthy. I got to have Quinshon Judkins healthy at running back, or as healthy as he's been. And there's reason to believe that he's probably there for Ole Miss. But if all that's in place, then can LSU do what Alabama did? It'll be tough. What Alabama did is they held Ole Miss to 56 rushing yards. They pressured Jackson Dart. They sacked him 5 times. They got after him all afternoon, and they made him make high leverage throws, and it didn't work. And Alabama didn't even have to score a whole lot. It did not work. LSU's pressure rate is second last in the SEC, which of course makes no sense because they appear to have disruptors all over the place. I know they've been playing a certain kind of way down there. Whatever. If you don't get after Jackson Dart, he will beat you Saturday. So I would advise attempting everything you can to get after Jackson Dart. The game's going to be decided, I think, on third downs. LSU's offense is 4th in FBS on third downs right now. They've been very, very good on third down. Ole Miss, not so much. Offensively, 3rd worst in the SEC. Now, on any given Saturday, that's like turnovers. That can totally invert. But all we have to go on is what we have to go on. So right now, LSU looks to be the team with the edge. But I'm telling you, as I said the last two games we predicted, and I'm going to say it again, teams that lose and are coming home off that loss, I'm always attracted to. It is one of the sicker parts of my personality. When everyone else is speeding out of town, I'm Jeff Goldblum in Independence Day. With my elderly father there in the passenger seat typing away on a laptop made in 1984, we're driving towards the issue. We're driving towards the problem. Great movie. Great and very realistic film, Independence Day. Very true to life. If aliens invaded, it would be very true to life. I think that I need to take a look at what the model says on this game because Vegas has LSU minus 2.5. And that probably doesn't surprise you. LSU a slight favorite. What you need to know is the model disagrees. The model thinks the wrong team is favored. Really? So the model has Ole Miss minus 1. And they think I hate them in Oxford. Did you know that, Colin and Jesse? They think I hate them in Oxford. You couldn't be further from the truth. I'll leave it at that. You couldn't be further from the truth. I am taking Ole Miss to win this game outright. Think they're going to pull a mild upset there. And I think it's going to be because of Jackson Dart. And I think it's going to be pretty wild. I think it has game of the month potential. And we've had some crazy games already. I think that Ole Miss is going to somehow find a way. And if they do, is that right, Jesse? LSU is ranked 13th right now. If they do, maybe Lane Kiffin ups that stat that we read the other night, like 1-18 versus teams that finish with 9 wins or more. I think Ole Miss is going to find a way to win this game. And if they do now, that just throws the SEC West into a blender because Ole Miss has already got a conference loss. They've got a division loss to Alabama. They can't lose Saturday, or else they're, for all intents and purposes, they're out of the division race. LSU's not out of anything if they do lose Saturday, though, because their loss is out of conference right now. LSU is spotless in conference play. It would just be very, very chaotic. If LSU wins this game, you kind of maintain that trajectory of this Alabama-LSU collision course, and I'm not saying either one of them is guaranteed to go undefeated between now and then, but if LSU does lose, I'm going to lean slightly that they do. Boy, oh boy, what a mess we have in the SEC West. I will get texts. I got about 5 dedicated LSU friends who watch this show, and if I pick against them, and sometimes I do, I hear from them, and I know it's coming. That's fine, though.